Hello, and welcome to our time here together. Today, I want to continue with this journey of what it means to see or not see God. And I want to look today at the story of Thomas, who doubts that Jesus is risen, even though his disciple friends tell him that Jesus has risen. And it's only when Jesus enters into the upper room and Thomas can put his hands on Jesus' hands and see his wounds and hear him speak, that Thomas recognizes that Jesus is risen and then says those very beautiful words, "My Lord and my God." As I've said before, not everybody has a vision of Jesus, and we live in a time where we're definitely not going to be seeing the risen Lord as the disciples did. But I think the important gift here is that there are people who have encounters with the divine. There are people who see Jesus. There are those of us who see God in the sunrise or can recognize God in the beauty of a newborn baby. One of the contemporary thinkers that I've been reading quite a bit at the moment is the work of James Finley from the Center for Action and Contemplation. And he puts this really beautifully when he says, some people will have a vision of Jesus, but many of us will see Jesus in the paintings that other people have done. We will hear the words of Jesus through the books that we read or podcasts that we listen to. And that this is just as important a way of seeing Jesus in our lives and knowing that God is at work. So I think the invitation here is for us to do two things. One, for us to really enter into and listen to each other's stories of the work of God in our different lives. This is a wonderful way in which we can really experience the risen Lord. But also for us to read the works of Christian thinkers and mystics, for us to enter into how they have experienced God. So I'm thinking here of people like, for example, Teresa of Avila and St. John of the Cross. But there are many contemporary people that we can read as well. And in this way, we get to see Jesus at work. We also see Jesus through beautiful art that people have put together that depict the presence of God, particularly people who are painting and writing icons. So while we don't live in the time of Thomas, and most of us are not going to see the risen Lord, the invitation is that we can see the risen Lord depicted by others, shared in the story of those who have encountered God, and to know that God is speaking to us just as much as he speaks to those that have directly witnessed him. It's difficult in the 21st century to talk in this language because we live in an age of science and we want to shy away from these kind of mysteries and miracles. But God, who made himself known to the disciples, has continued to make himself known throughout the last 2000 years. So when you have that sense, perhaps this is God. This is a prompting of God. The sense that I have bubbling up inside me is a prompting of the Spirit. Enter into that, because that's God's invitation to you, the God who continues to make himself and herself known to us 2000 years after his death and resurrection. Amen.